Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing swatches with you from the holiday collection for 2017 from China Glaze. This is their Glam Finale collection. There are 12 polishes in this whole collection. I do have all 12. I purchased mine from 88beauty.com. I will link them in the description box below, and I will also link China Glaze's Instagram as well as my Instagram, where I will have more swatches of everything in this collection. So 12 polishes with little hands. I'm not going to be able to hold them all up, but let's go ahead and get started. So our first polish is called Sparkle On, and this is a bright red sparkling glitter, and it is in a red jelly base. So here's our first coat of Sparkle On, and this is a jelly-ish formula, so it is a little bit sheer here on the first coat. That is so with each built up coat, you can see the glitter from the previous coat, and it will look almost three-dimensional on your nail. You get a ton of glitter out with each stroke on this polish, but it does dry very textured, and it is very difficult to remove, and it is on the formula side, it is thicker, and it is very lumpy. It's not very easy to apply. But here's the second coat, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats for me. And if it's not completely opaque for you on 2 coats, I do recommend spot treatment as opposed to a third coat. It does get extremely thick if you have to add a third coat. So there is 2 coats. Next up we have Santa's Sidechick, and this is a bright berry red, and it does have a like lighter red fuchsia pinky shimmer. So here's our one and only coat of Santa's Sidechick. This is completely opaque for me. It does dry pretty quick, and it does dry obviously completely matte, but it's not one of those polishes that are difficult to work with. It dries fast, but it doesn't dry as you're working with it, so that's really, really nice. On my Instagram page, I will have swatches both matte and glossy of this one. This has a fantastic formula, easy to use, easy to work with, no staining, no complaints here. So there's 1 coat. Next up we have the Perfect Holiday, and this is a bright Christmassy green. It does look a lot more blue here on camera, but it is definitely a Christmas green, and it's got a yellowish green shimmer running throughout it. So again, here's our one and only coat of the Perfect Holiday. This is another one of those matte drying polishes, so it does have a phenomenal, easy to use 1 coat formula. The only issue with this one, as far as it being a 1 coater for me, is if you apply too much pressure, you can create dents, and that's when you might end up needing a second coat. But if you can work pretty quickly with this, it is very, very opaque and just a 1 coater. And I also had no staining with this one either. If you look on my Instagram page, I will have swatches both matte and glossy of this one as well. So there is 1 coat. Next up we have Teal The Fever, and this is a glitter polish in a clear base. This is blue to green sparkly glitter. So here's our first coat of Teal The Fever, and I'm only going to do 1 coat of this over New Year, New Boo, also from this collection, which I don't know why I didn't swatch that one first. This is a fantastic formula, easy to use, easy to work with. This one can be built up in 3 coats on its own or done with the sponging method, which I recommend. So there's 1 coat. Next up we have New Year, New Blue, and this is a dark royal blue polish, and it does have a lighter blue shimmer. It also looks like around the edges it might have a purple multichrome effect to it. So here's our one and only coat of New Year, New Boo. This has a phenomenal formula, easy to use, easy to work with, not too thick, not too thin. This one does not dry matte though, it dries very glossy. I also, I don't wear base coat when I swatch, but I had no staining with this one either. I didn't have any issues with running or pooling or anything like that. Again, just a phenomenal formula to work with. So there is 1 coat. Next up we have Queen of Sequins, and this is a dark purple base, and it's got a bright pink to gold-ish, copper-ish shifting shimmer. So here's our first coat of Queen of Sequins, and after swatching the last 5 polishes, I was actually pretty let down with this one. It's very beautiful in the bottle, but on the nails it was very disappointing. This coat is very sheer. Depending on your application, you may end up even needing 3 coats for this one. I am going to just show you 2 today because it did look completely opaque, but in my swatch photo, I did do 3 coats. So here's a second coat, and this is about 90% opaque on 2 coats here. The shimmer in this is very beautiful though. It's very nice against the dark base, and the formula on this one is pretty easy to work with. I have no complaints. It doesn't want to run or pull or anything like that. I didn't have any kind of staining. So there's 2 coats. Up next we have Toasted Up, and this is a light almond champagne foily-ish polish. It does have that silvery look to it that most foil polishes have. So here's our first coat of Toasted Up. This has a phenomenal formula, very easy to use, easy to work with, stays right where you put it, doesn't want to run or pull or anything like that. You do have to worry about brush strokes here with this one. Most of them go away when it's completely dry and with a top coat, but not all of them. You can sponge your second coat on if that bothers you, but I really don't think the brush strokes are nearly that bad. So here's a second coat, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats, and this is just a nice, elegant, classy color. It also dries decently glossy, though I do recommend a top coat just to smooth out any kind of brush strokes that may be left behind. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have As Good As It Glitz, and this is a rose goldy champagne metallic-y foil polish. I am the worst at this. Here is As Good As It Glitz and Toast It Up side by side. So here is our one and only coat of As Good As It Glitz. This has a phenomenal formula, not too thick, not too thin. Doesn't want to do anything funny. It also dries down. When it dries down, instead of a metallic finish like it looks in the bottle, it is more of a chrome-esque finish, which is really nice. I don't have anything like that from China Glaze. This one is very original in my collection. So there is just 1 coat. Next up we have Big Hair and Bubbly, and this is a gold glitter polish in a clear base. So here is our one and only coat of Big Hair and Bubbly, and I'm layering this one over As Good As It Glitz. This is not a glitter that I recommend trying to build up on its own. You could sponge it on, but there are other glitters that are this kind of gold that are more densely packed, so I would just recommend going in with that. So there is 1 coat. Up next we have Sleigh Bells Ring, and this is a gunmetal gray metallic polish with like olivey undertones to it. So here is our first coat of Sleigh Bells Ring. This is a touch sheer here on this first coat, so I am going to go in for a second coat. But this does have a really nice formula. I feel like China Glaze's formulas are getting a little bit better. This is a little bit thicker than normal for China Glaze, which is nice because they have such a long stem that when the polish runs down and it's such a thin formula, it just makes an absolute mess for me, and I don't have that issue with any polishes in this collection. So here is that second coat, and this one does cover completely in 2 coats, and it also dries extremely glossy. So there's 2 coats. Next up we have Disco Ball Drop, and this is larger holographic glitter as well as micro silver glitter in a clear base. So here is 1 coat of Disco Ball Drop, and I am layering this one over Santa's Sidechick. This is another glitter that I don't recommend trying to build up on its own. It does have a good glitter to base ratio. though you do have to be careful about spreading it out evenly on your nails. These glitters will be a little bit textured and a little bit difficult to remove, but nothing worse than any other glitter topper that's out there. So there is one coat. And lastly, we have Don't Be a Snowflake, and this is the same glitter mix as Disco Ball Drop. It is larger holographic glitter and smaller holographic silver micro glitter, but this one is in a milky white crelly base. So here's our first coat of Don't Be a Snowflake. This is extremely sheer here on the first coat. If you don't feel like building this up, it does look really nice layered over a white. I haven't tried layering it over any other colors, but it will kind of, I assume, make it almost cloudy, whatever color you put it over. So here's the second coat, and this is still a little sheer here on the second coat, so I am going to go in for a third coat. This is going to be difficult to remove, and it is also going to dry textured. Those glitters in there do cause traffic jams on your nails sometimes, so you do want to be careful to try to even those out as much as you can so you don't end up with lumpy looks on your nails. So here's the third coat, and this one covers about 95%, but I'm happy with it. I wouldn't go in for a fourth coat or anything like that. You will want a nice glitter eating top coat for this, potentially even 2 coats of top coat depending how picky you are. So there is 3 coats. So my favorites from this collection are Happy Holly, The Perfect Holiday, and Santa's Sidechick. I'm not crazy about the fact that they dry matte, but they are beautiful colors all around, and they're perfect little holiday combination. And I don't know, they're just really, really nice. They are nice matte, but I'm not a fan of the polishes that dry matte necessarily. I feel like they get so thick and so goopy and so pretty much unusable after just a few uses. I do have a few honorable mentions though from this collection, the first being As Good As It Glitz. This is so festively beautiful, like this nice champagne. I feel like this is more New Year's, but I'm really, really glad to have it in my collection. It was such an amazing formula at that. The next honorable mention is Teal The Fever. This is so gorgeous as a full manicure. I don't care for it as a topper, but if you have time to sponge it on or layer it up, this one is so gorgeous as a full manicure. And the last one, I feel like I am going to be pretty much alone in my opinion, but Don't Be a Snowflake is so freaking cute to me. This is so beautiful and it's original, and I don't know, I really, really like this one too. And that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this collection. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. I will talk to you again next time. Bye.